Hello and welcome to the Weekend Investing Daily Byte of 3rd of September. Markets doing quite well actually today. Nifty a bit range bound, but rest of the market did quite well. Um, what people were expecting in the last few sessions were that market will get softer and softer and softer towards the mid of the month uh, for the rate cut potential in the US, and markets took sort of a U-turn in the broader market, although Nifty remained range bound. Today we are going to talk about the retail stampede into SME IPOs, whether the current narrative that is being built in the markets is excessively negative about this segment, or should we take a more open positive approach, because a lot of these IPOs, small and medium enterprises, could actually be the big winners of the next decade, let's say. Stocks that go from SME into small caps to mid caps to even large caps. So it is like this journey of SMEs is somewhat like evolution of small companies and new enterprises, and unless you allow this to evolve, newer, bigger, cleaner corporations will not come to the fore. So while there is dirt in every segment, and even in the listed segment you have enough number of operated companies, if I may say that. So SME IPOs is nothing different from that, but we'll have more discussion with some data on SMEs towards the end of the video. Request like every day, please subscribe to the channel. It will only take one movement of your index finger to go and click that button. Where is the market headed? Market has stabilized on Nifty, absolutely 0% change today. So we did bob around 25 321 and 25 235 on the upper and lower side, about 80 points of range, but it closed absolutely flat. I have absolutely no issues in the next 10 days also if it remains flat. It's a good place to do some consolidation actually. So nothing lost, nothing gained, and no harm done. Nifty Junior 0.1% up. Again, the color of the candles tell you whether the market builds on where it opens. So the last two sessions, in fact, in the last 6 sessions, there was only one green candle, for instance. So the move that started here had good positive movements during the day, but post 20th of August, we've only had higher opens but sort of sluggish closes. So market is not willing to really go up, needs consolidation. If it consolidates here, let's say till the middle of the month, and we get a 0.5% rate cut, maybe that will be the trigger that can really ignite the markets for some more time. Mid caps totally flat, 0.23% up from yesterday, but a complete doji on the daily candle, open and close virtually at the same point. Small cap stocks slightly up 0.59%, actually closing at a new all-time high close, 18,264. And small caps, as I've been mentioning in the last many sessions, are leading the market upwards. And Bank Nifty, after a very long time, has taken a 0.5% gain. It is looking reasonably, I would say, repaired from the damage it was having, and it looks like a flag, and does look like that it can try and attempt the highs over the next month or two. Rate cuts will be very beneficial for the bond book that banks are holding. Momentum trends, you had slightly positive advance decline ratio today, actually reverse of yesterday. So 292 advances to 207 decline. So that is showing you that the underlying current or the broader market remained towards the higher side. Previous day's data is not available, so we are skipping this chart. Today's heat map, you had SBI Life and HDFC Life do well. HDFC Bank also up 0.6%. ICICI Bank 1.4%. You had Titan up 1%, but there was not much of gain. So large cap Nifty 50 stocks, not much of gains today. But if I look at Nifty next 50, you had much more greens, at least on the view. So Public sector enterprise stocks that have been simmering last many sessions took a lead. HAL on new orders, RECPFC on expectation of interest rate cut, SBI Life up 2.9%, Bajaj Holding on Bajaj Home IPO, Geo Finance up 1.5%. These were some of the gainers from the second half of the top 100 stocks. Sectoral trends, nothing really to talk about. Energy stocks lost 0.7%, metal stocks lost 0.6%, and the rest were within plus and minus half a percent. And Nifty was absolutely flat. So, virtually a no trend day, if I may say so. And the last 1 week, only IT has performed a bit on the plus side, and metals have underperformed on the downside. These are the two sort of sectors doing some movement. Financial services stocks up 0.8%, fast approaching a new all-time high again. Here, SBI Card, LIC Housing, Power Finance, SBI Life, REC, all up. So interest rate cuts are already getting baked in. So if this continues, then maybe on interest rate cut, this segment will see a sell on news. But this is a very nice leg that is developing on the financial services side. In terms of the stock spotlight, you had Godrej Properties up uh, almost what 14% up today. So Godrej Industries also has good stakes in Godrej Properties, and Godrej Properties is going to develop two new projects in Gurugram. So I mean the price of land is going through the roof, 100 crores per acre or something like that. So this is also telling you that real estate, like a lot of people believe that it's a flash in the pan, and after it has gone up, it will just fall flat. Just look at what is happening. Big developers are still buying land, and this land is going to get developed over the next 6 years. So if Godrej Properties or DLF or whoever is buying land and looking for a 6 year development cycle, then they must be optimistic also on the real estate sector. They must be seeing demand. Only then they are doing all these crazy, valuation basis land purchases. So while we think that we are very smart in terms of predicting markets, there are smarter players who are making plans for the next half a decade as well. Anyhow, so Godrej Industries, doing very well. Was near 400 rupees just a year and a half back, and is now at 1200. So fantastic returns on that stock. So now retail Stampede into SME IPOs. So disclaimer: I don't know too much about SME IPOs. This is whatever I have heard or read recently. I don't claim any expertise in SME IPOs. I have never invested in an SME IPO, but there seems to be a lot of narrative around SME IPOs, and rightly so, because they seem to be going all over the place. This is the IPO that got listed today, JB Laminations, and it listed at 90% premium. It closed at 99% above its IPO price. So about 146 was the IPO price, and it has opened and closed at 291 on day one, and there was a significant amount of buyers still right there. So this is the kind of, at least the IPO frenzy that is being witnessed on the SME platform, and that is what is causing concern. Very recently, you all would have heard about this Yamaha showroom with 8 employees, two rented showrooms. That guy was going to raise 12 crores for about 38% equity, and there were bids that poured in for maybe like 4,000 crores, 4,700 crores. So it is not like he got 4,700 crores. The 4,688 crore got returned back to investors, but that was the kind of bids that came through in terms of how many people wanted to get those shares. So that is the demand side of it. Now, with this huge demand, it seems that the supply, whatever is coming, is still very limited, which is not able to satisfy this demand. And obviously, when such an event will happen, some players will try to game the system. Some will try to overprice the system. Some will try to piggyback some businesses, invest in those businesses, bring them to SME, and offload. All those games will happen, and you cannot prevent that. As long as all those games are being played within the set rules, there is nothing wrong really. I mean, you can't say that if somebody is doing well in SME merchant banking, and they're bringing IPOs to the market, they are not doing any sin. They may be getting greedy. That is one part of it, and everybody in the market is greedy. I mean, are you not greedy? Anybody in the market doesn't want more for what they're doing? There is no question of any fair price in a market. It is basically what you can get. So this is this whole angle that is given to it, that retail innocent investor is going to get hurt. Well, let me say this, that there is no innocence in investors. When we if investors are greedy and they are willing to ignore the basis on which they are investing to make a quick buck, they are like investing in a lottery. So that is the mind frame, that I'm going to invest in a SME stock and my capital should double. If you're coming with that mindset, I don't think there is any innocence there. Then you are a greedy gambler, and sometimes you will get hit. Your capital will get wiped out, and there should be nobody crying for you. So from that point of view, I don't agree with this whole idea of that investors should be protected. I mean, it is not the business of the exchange or the regulator to protect anybody. The business of the regulator is to provide a level playing field, making sure that people are not doing fraudulent things. Overpricing or underpricing will always happen. I mean, that nobody can control. So retail is flocking SME IPOs. There is more and more people coming to the market. I mean, 22,000 crores of SIP is happening in the market. So can the regulator say that too much money is coming into the market, so I will stop more SIPs? Although they have already raised concern that bank deposits are not getting replenished, and people are moving to the stock market. SBI chairman is saying that I'm looking forward to markets going down so that deposits can come back. I don't know what has happened to all these fellows, why they're talking all this. I mean, instead of encouraging people to come to the market, the narrative seems to be that don't come to the market. So anyhow, so retail investors, the narrative that is going around is that retail investors are increasingly buying into high risk SME IPOs, and they're doing it by choice. Previously, these investments were dominated by high net worth individuals. Investors are drawn by the strong listing gains of recent SME issuance. So if there are some gains somewhere and somebody is drawn to it, I mean, I don't see them as as being innocent. I mean, their greed got ignited, and they said, okay, let me also make some money overnight. So you take high risk, you will lose sometimes, and you will make a lot of money sometimes. Big bets, large hopes. If you see the number of issues, this is sourced from a ET story on Sources Prime database. The number of issues for these small SMEs in the first half of this year has been 105, which is sort of similar to what happened in the last 1 year also. So nothing really has made so much difference between this year and last year. Of course, last year was a bit more than the one previous to that, and it is not many orders of magnitude different. Now, what is the total? The average issue amount is 32 crore. So that also is not such a big deal. 32 crore IPO, 105 issues, 3,200 crores has been raised. Big deal. I mean, 22,000 crores is coming every month. 3,200 crores of raising means 3 days of SIPs. I don't know why there's so much hoo-ha around this particular issue. And yes, average listing gain is so much. There is some price manipulation must be happening. I'm not denying that, but markets are markets. I mean, what can you do about that? You can't control the movement of stock prices. That is what the fair market or the fair market practices are. This is another stat from BSE SME page, where the entire market cap of SME listed till date is only 1.7 lakh crores. No big deal really. 7,000 crores raised till date. 185 companies of which have moved to the main board. So this is the real thing, that 185 companies were worthy, and they were able to move to the main out of the SME board to the main board, and they will become the small caps of the world, and then maybe at someday they will become the mid caps also. Some companies have been suspended. 218 companies out of this are trading again. So not any earth shaking statistic I could see, at least. Now SEBI says it has noticed that certain SME companies are making misleading public announcements, so please go and catch them. I mean, that is the job of the regulator, uh, to segregate the bad players from the rest of the players. Because of some bad players, the entire market should not be punished, and that is just my personal view. uh, you can't say that all SME companies are accused of inflating profits. I mean, they have introduced a 90% cap on listing day also. 60 SME stock IPOs this time is listed between 90 and 400%. So about half of them basically this year have gained quite a bit, and because they are lesser liquid, more prone to their market making by their concentrated owners, all these games will happen. See, if 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 we were to say that SME is too risky for retail investors, then you ban retail investors from SME. You say that the minimum lot in SME is going to be 20 lakh rupees. End of the matter. I mean, that's the only thing that can come around. Uh, and reputed investors are also putting fuel to this fire. Mr. Vijay Kedia saying 9 out of 10 stocks are manipulated. From where they've got this figure, I have no idea. So, I mean, whenever we see that there is some kind of furor over something like the options thing that came around, there is going to be some tightening now, because the matter has reached the ears of the regulator. The regulator will have to take some action, even to show that we are taking cognizance of what is happening. So essentially what will happen is that the lot size, which is I think sub 2 lakhs or something like that today, may become very, very large. That is what is going to happen. There may be more stricter entry barriers, but I think for the kind of money that is flowing to the market, we need a lot more supply of paper, we need a lot more supply of IPOs. Otherwise the existing market will continue to, these stocks will continue to go up in valuation, unless we have more stocks which can absorb this liquidity. uh, if we keep restricting the number of companies that can come to the market, I think we are not doing a great service to the stock market ecosystem. I mean, these are my thoughts on SME IPOs. I could be totally wrong or totally right. That is for you to decide or judge. But do let us know what are your thoughts on these SMEs, and what kind of manipulation according to you is happening here. I have no clue what kind of fraud is happening. But is, let's take an example. Okay, Paytm listed at 2000 rupees, and the management said we left so much on the table, then it went to 300 rupees. How is it very different from SME? I'll leave that question with that for your thoughts. Thanks. Bye.